What's up? Let's get everything ready. Very good. Doing the Art Pop Father's Day edition. See if he joins. Trying to send the invite to the old man. Let's see. He has been invited. We'll see if he can figure out the technology. I have the perfect "I am your father" shirt for the Father's Day Art Pop interview, Sunday interview. All right, well, sure. Trying to get him in. He's unable to join. Oh, great. Hey, what's up? I like the poem. I saw like 2 minutes before I hopped in. I'm super excited to talk about it later. Hear more about that. Sounds like a very awesome experience. Kind of wonder why was it such an awesome experience is what I would like to know. All right, now trying to get my old man on here is that is the thing. Okay, I'm gonna what's up, GD? Trying to get this going. It says he's unable to join. Oh, great. Yeah. It's, sometimes trying to get the old people on is a little tough. He joined. Okay, so now you're joined. So, hey, we got, yes. Oh, man. In true boomer fashion, we just see the top of your head. You're in it. You're live.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Oh, and Mr. Ephraim's here. Look at that.
How about that?
How about that? All right, now you went blank. Where'd you go, old man?
Oh, so you're gonna see my face, or you're...
Yeah. This is like the new way. This is not like the podcast. This is like a full blown. Just pretend you're on ESPN talking about the Brewers in Aspen and where you at, Ricky boy? Oh, okay. That's what Ephraim said.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, you got. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to show off a bunch of your stuff, but we'll get to that. Oh, you got the old grandfather clock and
Yes, I do, and I'm half asleep. It was a pretty rough day yesterday at Aspen.
and there's Aspen. I don't know, man. This might just be a interview with me and Aspen, huh? There he goes.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough night last night for Gyro Days. So I've been...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that picture. You went out and got a drink with some buddies.
Yes, I went around and got some fine Hefeweizen beer.
Nice. All right. So, hey, can you hear me all right and everything?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit because you're a little low, but all right. Okay. So I don't really know if you know what like this all is, but so I started this about probably like a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, and so and that's Aspen. We'll talk about Aspen soon enough. So I started this about a month ago, and we interview artists, musicians, pretty much like poets, any kind of like creative types. So that's why it's called the Art Pop Sunday Art Pop interview. And it goes on every Sunday at 5:05 to 5:55, and we talk to artists and stuff. And so I had this day, Father's Day, I didn't book anyone because it's kind of, I figured people would be busy. And then I was like, dude, I'm just going to interview the old man. Like, it's Father's Day. I'm going to interview the old man. It's perfect. And I was like, he's an artist because you create a lot of stuff actually and take pictures. You're a photographer, you write, and you've done a bunch of stuff. So actually, so that's how we're going to start it off. Oh, and I have to say, I wore the perfect shirt. I am your father. I wore the perfect shirt for the for this episode.
Tell you what, before we get started, I'm a little warm. I'm going to take this sweatshirt off, okay?
Okay. Well, you could hear me, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll get the questions ready. So, the old man is really, really into sports, and that's kind of where that's where I got my love of baseball from, is from the old man. And so we're gonna rewind way back when, before I was even alive or I was even a creation. And you were writing for your college, or was it for Spokane's news? What newspaper were you writing, and where did you get your writing start? How did that all start?
Well, my journalism career, if you will, started with the Kellogg Evening News. It's now defunct. It consolidated with the, what do they call it? The North Idaho News Press. But it was the Kellogg Evening News.
Okay, and it was actually for the news, not the newspaper.
Well, no, that's what they called it. Well, it's a newspaper.
Oh, okay. And you were writing sports, like sports sections and columns. Cool. And what were you covering? Was it just baseball or was it all sports?
It was all sports.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, I knew a lot about this, but I didn't totally know exactly what you did. And then how long were you writing for that?
I think it was about 2 years. I also worked in the composition
Oh, okay. Okay.
department. That's basically putting the newspaper together and whatnot.
Right. Okay. And then I don't know where, but somewhere along the line, I have a giant Nutcracker picture mural in my garage. So at some point you're working, and I don't know the story of it. All I know is my mom said it came off of a bus or something. So tell me about that Nutcracker mural, and that was out of Spokane. What was that job, and what were you creating there?
Well, that was when I worked for an advertising agency, a company called Washington Transit
Okay.
Advertising. They are now defunct as well. It's kind of odd you mentioned that because I was in Spokane a couple of days ago. I was downtown and looking at all the buses, and they no longer have bus signs on them. So,
Oh.
yeah. So it was basically a client of ours that we had, and it had a toy soldier on it, if memory serves me correctly. And so I thought, I think Michael would probably like that. So that's how you ended up getting it.
Yeah, and it's been like in a garage here, a garage there, and like I said, it's in my garage now, just chilling. And I've always wondered, like, where is this business even come from? But yeah, I think now buses, at least here, they'll do like a wrap, like they'll wrap the bus, the entire bus. So I don't think they make signs and put them on. It's more like digital graphic designs, and then they like put it on like a giant sticker.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah, which makes sense. It's probably a lot more better for the environment and just easier to do, I'd imagine. So, okay, so you're doing all that, and then I came around, and then we also, and so then you had, so let's start with your, start off with the podcast and your dream. What was your big dream and that we did a podcast for? What was that?
Well, I had a goal and a dream, if you will, of making it to all 30 current Major League Baseball stadiums, go to a home game there.
Right.
And it included like sampling the food there, checking out the vibe, just basically just, trying to get autographs, just collecting memories and making it to all 30 stadiums. Because some ended up being tore down or whatnot, I was in a total of 40 different Major League Baseball stadiums.
Right. Which wait, how many baseball teams are there right now?
There are 30 in Major
30. Oh, okay. But you ended up going to 40 because like the Kingdome was knocked down and then it turned into
League.
Safeco or whatever it is now. And
Yeah, and then Olympic Stadium in Montreal I was at, and that's when the Washington Nationals were the Montreal Expos.
right. So okay, so Trista is like the homie. She's always really fun. And one thing about these I always really enjoy is a lot of the people they leave comments. I don't know if you could see the comments down there. But they'll write comments and stuff or questions, so I like to include them. But Trista wrote, "I love baseball when they get the ball in the net." I thought you liked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it goes like in the net, right? That would be like a foul ball now, though, right? When it goes into the yeah. So okay, now I have to razz you a little bit. So out of all of the so when we were doing the podcast, we would talk about and what I really liked about when we were doing that, and like I've said you and I've said to like a bunch of people, is my bucket list. One of my bucket lists is to try to get my computer and everything set up so we can get those started and so we could finish the rest. Because I think we ended up on like episode 8 or 9.
Wrigley Field was where we left off.
Yeah, which that was what number? Like 8 or 9 or something or
something like that.
Yeah, so there's a good chunk left. So I liked it a lot because a lot of the stories I haven't heard, but then also I was able to ask you about like the city. How was the city? How was the food? How was the beer? And and so you'd always elaborate on all these cool things because one part of it, which we went to a bunch, we went to when I was older, that I really, really remember. We went to Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, went to Philadelphia, the Citizen Bank. Yeah, and I really, really enjoyed going to the stadiums, watching you throw a pitch on the old mound like an 8-year-old boy.
At the old Yankee Stadium.
Outside, yeah, at the old they still have it. You're throwing a pitch, and so that was always really fun to experience that. But the other thing I really enjoyed was going around seeing the city and experiencing it. And one thing I thought was really cool that you always did, you'd always ask people around the city, like, what's fun to do here? And we always got to discover all that. So, okay, so what out of all of the stadiums, it's quiz time, whatever, all the stadiums and all the thousands of games you've ever been to, what's something that's never happened?
Never seen a no-hitter or a perfect game, so I would classify that in one. And never have caught a foul ball at a game. Although I was at Tropicana Field in the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, and I was messing around with my phone trying to take a video of the game, and a foul ball ended up hitting me on my
foot. Right. And speaking of, right here, I don't know if Ephraim's still in here, but if Ephraim is in here, I have to mess with him because me and Ephraim were at this game with Dahlia, and he was eating a big hot dog, like stuffing a hot dog down his face, and this came right, and I just backhanded it. Wow. But I think that was one big thing that really sunk into Dahlia, because Dahlia, she was here and she was at the game. And so I caught the foul ball. I don't think she really thought anything of it, because she's only been to a few games. But then what really sparked her interest is the people in front of me. They're like, hey, can we see that? Wow. So I was kind of passing the ball along to I was kind of passing the ball along to everyone, like the people up front, the people behind us, and they're all looking and examining the foul ball, like the actual major league foul ball. They're super stoked on it. And that is, I think, what kind of sparked Dahlia's interest to be like, wow, like, why is this ball so special? And why do all these like adults and kids want to see this ball, this foul ball? Because like you said, you've gone to, geez, hundreds and hundreds of baseball games total, and you've never caught a foul ball.
No, never.
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of those other adults, they probably have experienced the same thing. They've never caught a foul ball. So there's something special about holding and catching and seeing like an actual ball. And it says, like you see right here, Major League Baseball on it. So that really sparked Dahlia's attention. And then actually it's kind of cool because you can see like the blue, like where it's hit and stuff. So that really sparked Dahlia's attention with that. So that was one thing that we had a lot of fun doing, is going to all the baseball games and then also doing the podcast. And like I said, that's on my bucket list of restarting it. But I want to restart it when I'm at a point to get it good. And one of my favorite parts about doing that is you tell a story, and then I would go back and do research and actually find the audio clip of whatever you're talking about. And I'll pull the audio clip and I'll pop it in to really make it feel like you're living or you're experiencing it there. Yeah. And yeah, just also want to know, do they have tight ends in baseball? I think she might be razzing you a little bit. Do they have tight ends?
I can't really hear that.
Oh, tight ends.
Oh yeah. FYI, I used to live in Toronto. Lots of
yeah. Okay, you see the thing.
Picking on slow here. Yes, I really like. It's called the Rogers Center now, but back when I went, it was called Dido. And it was one of the first stadiums that I'd ever been to that had a Hard Rock Cafe in it, and it was almost like a mini city inside. And then there was a big statue of Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the entrance to Hard Rock Cafe. And then there was the CNN tower that was right next door to so Toronto's a really nice place.
And is that the same stadium that's still there now, or did they rebuild that one?
No, it's still, well, they just renamed it.
Well, yeah, but it's the same complex and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and you obviously you made it out to that one, which I think that's pretty cool. You're able to like go out of the country and actually make it to that one too. Yeah.
I've been to 2 different Canadian Major League Baseball stadiums.
And there's the Expos would be the other.
Right, yeah. And that was a very interesting game in itself.
Right. So the CNN tower. That was like the news. CNN, the news branch, right?
I'm kind of embarrassed. I really don't know why they call it the CNN tower.
Or CN tower?
CNN.
Oh,
as far as I know, yeah, it could be wrong, but I thought it was called the CNN tower.
I think she wrote CN tower because Trista's from Canada, so she's our Canadian expert. But I think she wrote CN tower. I don't know, Trista, if you know, I was escorted out of the Hard Rock. Well, there you go. That's a claim of, that's a badge of fame. I don't know if the old man's ever been escorted out of any of the places. He's been close, I'm sure.
No. Baseball is like a shrine to me. I'd never want to do anything to get escorted out.
Yeah. The only thing, one quick story, and then we'll move on to some of your other art projects that I really want to talk about and show off. But one of my favorite funny memories, we were in Philadelphia, of course, of all places, and we were at the hotel about to leave, and you put on a Green Bay Packers jacket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Okay, first of all, like that, I'm not the biggest sports fan and don't know that much, but I actually know that's the wrong like sport. That's football. Why are you wearing, and we're in Philly, and I always like to wear whatever city I'm in. I wear that. Like if I'm in New York, I want to wear New York. If I'm in Philly, I want to wear Philly. I like to be the proverbial baseball Switzerland and blend in. And you go, oh, well, I like how this jacket fits, so I'm gonna wear it. And then, yeah, no, that's what you said. And then we went and you're in the bathroom, like going to the bathroom, and like true Philadelphia style. The one guy's like, Green Bay Packers, man, take that crap off. And you're like going to the bathroom, like, and then you're finishing, and you're like, oh, you won because it's the Eagles. You guys won a Super Bowl. Shut up. And then he's going to the bathroom, yelling back at you, like as he's going. I'm like, this is wild. Philly fans don't mess around.
The correct pronunciation of the whole sentence was, shut the F up. You guys just won the Super Bowl, and we didn't. So chill out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to censor it a little bit, but yeah, no, it's so much funnier when you say the actual phrase. But yeah, I was that close to thinking you might have gotten attacked by a few Philadelphia fans in the bathroom for a second.
Oh, the CN Tower, excuse me, CN Tower.
Oh, so Canada National is what it stands for.
That's interesting.
And then grandma, that's Lucid. The grandma, was escorted out of the state of Montana. So, well, there we go. We have someone was escorted out of something. So, okay, so that's the baseball, which I think is a really cool project and artistic thing. And you turn it into a scrapbook. You go, you take pictures and everything of all, like you said, it was kind of like a religious experience. Whenever I'd go with you, I'd be like, okay, do your thing. I'm just along for the ride. And you're like, okay, we got to take pictures. We got to get the book. We got to, you had your whole routine, your whole ritual every time we go to a new one, which I thought was cool. But you turn in a scrapbook and you take the pictures. And another thing that you do is photography. And so when did you start your photography journey? And then we'll talk how it's developed into the present day, which I think is really cool.
I started my photography journey, if you will, when I was married to your mother, and you were just very, very tiny. And I actually was fortunate enough to sell a couple of photos to a postcard company, but I never really thought about starting a business out of it or anything like that. And then throughout the years, I've always taken pictures, but now I have an iPhone 13, and it's pretty amazing. They can take better pictures than any camera I've ever had with lenses and everything. So
Right.
yeah, so it's so convenient to use it, especially when I have my dog with me, because I have to keep track of him. But
Yeah.
so and I have got a lot of likes on Facebook over the years. So, Michael, I have to laugh at your hair. You look like a bowl of sherbet ice cream.
Almost, right? Lucid did it. Lucid did it. I think it's pretty impressive. That's my favorite part whenever I get compliments on the hair. I always go, oh, my kid did it. And they're like, what? That's always like the reaction. I gotta say, what's up, Joe? Thanks for joining. What's up? If you have any photography questions or anything, like roll them at us. Oh, okay. Yeah, Trista, Trista's really big into photography, and she actually has like a bunch of old cameras, like really, really vintage old cameras. I'm pretty sure they also work, which is even like more amazing. Like for me, owning my vintage, my vintage stuff's only from 80s and 90s. And a lot of the cameras she has, they're super old. I'm pretty sure they all work too, which is really impressive. So she has an amazing question. So I think it's kind of obvious, but when did you switch from old, analog into digital? And then tell me what are some of the benefits of the analog versus some of the benefits of the digital, or the negatives of both,
Well, I'm not very technologically advanced, if you will. I just started a business.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah, and so I'm probably going to go to the nearest college, which is North Idaho College, and take some business classes, photography classes. But I would say I switched over to digital when I got my first iPhone.
Okay, right.
taking pictures of it. I'm like, wow, this takes really good pictures, and it's so much easier to go down to the photo store and get prints from it. And I would say that's when I discovered that it was. Yeah, I have a shoebox full of negatives, and there are some, not to sound pretentious or anything, but there's some really nice pictures that I was fortunate enough to take.
So when you were doing the analog, were the cameras? Because I know, I mean, I don't know anything really about photography other than taking pictures on my phone. So when you were doing the analog photography, did you have the screen, or there's no screen? It was just like you just went at it.
You're starting to break up a little bit on me, Michael, but so I'm really not sure what you asked just
So when you were using your analog photography, was there the screen on it, or there's no screen?
now. Oh no, there was no screen, and that's something that is inconvenient too, because I would end up with a couple of photos that I really didn't like. You know, the naked eye sees things differently than
Mhm.
you get it on film. And like with an iPhone, you know, like right now what you took, and you know whether well I want to keep it, and plus you can actually touch up photos and make them look better than what the naked eye can see. But
Right.
no, to answer your question, there was no screen that I could look at and say, oh, so that's what it looks like.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Trista says so. All of her vintage cameras do work, which that's super impressive. But she has the same thing. Lots of negatives because you're just taking it, and you have to wait till it comes back until you're actually able to produce it. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when you would take pictures and it would take a week or two, and you were lucky enough if you want to pay the extra money to do the like hour development. You take it in and it would take an hour back. But I mean, it's just so crazy how far technology has come. And then she said, like, the challenge of film is like just the fun of it. Like, I think the challenge of taking it, and then I can only imagine waiting, and then you get it back and you get a really good shot, and you're like, oh man, like I remember when I took that. So I could see how that could be a little bit fun that we kind of don't have now with iPhones, right?
Yeah, you're really getting hard to understand.
Oh, okay. Is the service breaking up?
Yeah, yeah, and with me, I'm reading down the challenge of film is the fun of it, and I could definitely understand that. But with me, I'm more or less an OCD perfectionist. I want it done right away and don't want the challenge because I'm moving on to the next photo right away. And yes, I did work in a dark room when I worked for the Kellogg Evening News. We would burn different photos, or not burn different photos, but print different photos from negatives. And we would also, in there, burn the whole page onto a plate. And the plate would basically go to the printer where he would put it on the printing machine. And so, yes, I have worked in a dark
Oh, nice. Hold on one second. I'm gonna try to close that. Let's see if that might help. Does that help a little bit?
room. Yeah, a little bit. We're
All
okay.
right. Why I really wanted to talk about the camera and your photography, because you just said you started a business and you are doing, what are you doing with your business now? And can you show off some of the new stuff? You see your new art that you've created.
Um, well, right now, I have to get up and go get one. Right now, I started with calendars, and I have a box of them here I can show you. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here's like one side of it. Has a bio of me, and then a collage of all the pictures. And then on the other side is the front of the calendar. It's kind of challenging to get it on the screen. And then this first time I took pictures that I got the most likes on Facebook.
Mm.
And I got like, what was it, like 7,000 likes for this one. So let's see how I can show it to you. That,
Ah, yeah, that one's cool.
yeah, that is the Northern Pacific Railroad Depot in Wallace, Idaho. And it's kind of an icon. People love to take pictures of it. But yeah, I got a lot for that. And then let's see, I'll show you another one. This is kind of difficult holding the phone. And
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that I was gonna get mine in the mail. I'm really bummed I didn't get it in the mail yet because I was gonna hold it up and you could kind of talk about it, but it should be here any day now.
and then I have Mr. Aspen down here with his wet nose on my arm. Okay, here's one that I got quite a few likes over. And that's here I give you an
I like how you got the rainbow in there.
Yeah, well, that's the whole reason that I took the picture.
Right. So Trisaz, how do you work with the lighting?
How do I what?
How do you work the lighting?
Lighting for what do you mean the lighting?
Probably just the lighting when you're taking the picture in the dark, because that one was kind of dark.
Well, I just take it as light as I can, and then I adjust it in the iPhone settings.
Right.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to get a little bit more into the technical side because like I do a lot of these, and let me know if I break up or I need to repeat the question. Because one of the main things that I do these interviews for is because I want to inspire other artists and other creatives to create and produce, because I've run into a lot of perfectionists who have it inside of them, but they're not quite ready to like put it out there into the world. That's one thing you're really good at, and I take after you, is like we create something, we just throw it out there. Like on Facebook and with music now, a lot of my music I put out, and it's so awesome with social media because you're able to put this art out and get instant feedback. So you might adjust. Like one song does good, one doesn't do good, so I'll go with one. Like you said, your picture, I went with the ones with all the most likes. So that's what the people like. I'm gonna do it rather than I like these 12 pictures. You put them out and print the magazine, try to sell it. Maybe other people don't like it. It doesn't sell good. So I love the idea of social media and putting out. So that's one of the reasons, is to inspire other people. The other one is to give people ideas and to help them out to become a better creator, like the technicals. So I had no idea you were even going to do this calendar, or you had any idea until one day you're just asking me some questions about like Etsy and about this and that. And you're like, oh, I made a calendar. I'm printing it. I'm doing it. I'm starting a business. It's happening. Like out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. So talk about creating the calendar, printing the calendar, and doing the business. Like explain your process of that. And if you have any suggestions and recommendations to other people who might want to do that.
Well, there is a danger of, I don't know how music goes, but there is a danger of putting some of my pictures on Facebook for the simple fact that, and I know for a fact that people have shared it and whatnot, so it's out there. And there's kind of a danger there as far as, and I understand now what your friend in Toronto was referring to. The night that I took the picture at the depot in Wallace, Idaho, it had just got done snowing, and it was like a real blizzard of a snowstorm, and I still love walking in the snow, And I took Aspen out for a walk, and we went over by the depot itself, and it was just it was lit up. I mean, it was just with the snow, and there are lights around it. It just lit up, and I'm a firm believer that talent does have something to do with good pictures being produced. But another thing is just luck, basically,
Yeah.
just the luck of, and I do think that's a very good photo. Obviously, I had that many likes on Facebook, so obviously it is an all right picture. But I was just very fortunate, very lucky to be where I was at that time. So, okay, as far as producing it goes, um, I had a company that printed and put the calendar together. And basically, what I did is I would email all of the pictures, and I would communicate to them how I wanted the layout to look. And then they would put it together, and they emailed it back to me, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Luck and patience. Yeah, being at the right place, right time is huge. And then be able, but then that's only can get so far. Then is when the talent comes in because you see the shot and then the technicals of, oh, I got to get this angle, or I'm sure you know. Yeah. Um, okay, so and really quick, yeah, you're right. Music, no, I mean, if you write a song and put it out there, I mean, no one's gonna
Oh
steal your
no,
song and recreate it.
right? Yeah,
No, it's like not. Maybe someone might get an idea and they might kind of make a similar one, but that's art. What art is, but with the pictures, you're right. You got to like watermark it, or I mean, someone could totally take it, repost it as their own. I mean, and that's kind of memes are kind of like that. It's like you make a meme, and you're like you're not making it. You're just making it, putting it out there, and you let go of that creation aspect. But as a photographer who's trying to make money off your pictures, yeah, I could see that how that could be a really sticky situation. So what with the business aspect and creating the calendar, because you're going to do another one next season, and what is something that you would change or adjust, and what's something that you might want to do different, like so people could learn from your mistakes.
well, to begin with, yes, this is a business, but after production costs, I plan on whatever's left over as far as profit goes, I'm going to give to the Parkinson's Foundation
Oh,
because grandma, my mother, has Parkinson's. Well, she has dementia and Parkinson's. So I'm going to give to some foundation that does research or whatnot. So basically, at this point, my plan is to be a nonprofit organization, nonprofit business, because obviously I have to end up getting my production costs out of it. But at this point, until God forbid my mom passes away, then I'm just going to do it this way. But
right.
eventually, the goal would be that I would end up doing profit for this. And there are other projects in the works. To answer your question, luck and patience is that has a lot to do with photography. Yes, there's going to be a volume two, if you will, and that's going to be next at this time next year.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because I've had like about 5 different requests for me to autograph the cat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I don't know, which is to me it's kind of embarrassing, because like I don't really consider myself like a Redland or a Talbot or something like that. But so yeah, I mean, whoever wants it autographed, I'll thank them for their support.
No, and okay, no, this really, this is a very important part because Lucid, your grandchild, my kid, has an issue with not knowing what, because Lucid will draw very great artists, digital artists, and a lot of times Lucid doesn't know how much to sell his commissioned art for. And I think you were kind of like, oh, I only want to do my calendars, sell it for this price. And I think one huge problem with a lot of artists and creatives is we undervalue the work, the life experience, the technicals, and being in the right place at the right time, that luck aspect. You put in hours and hundreds and thousands of hours of learning how to take these pictures and being at the right place at the right time, dedicating, learning how to create this book. All that is like time and energy, and it's not just like some Walmart mass produced garbage. So I think that's a huge thing about artists, and one thing I really want to like promote is like we can't undervalue our art. And I think if someone wants you to sign it, because it's not just some stupid like mass produced kitty calendar, it's like something that you created and it was your passion. So if I think you should be proud and like be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rock star inside. I mean, when you go to a baseball game, you want to get a baseball signed. I'm sure a lot of the baseball players are kind of like, okay, whatever, right? I mean, I'd imagine a lot of them kind of who aren't super egotistical probably have that thought a little bit, maybe.
Oh, it's a little bit too much energy now to try to get an autograph. I'm
Yeah,
I just want to get to my seat, drink a couple beers, and
you're
walk out.
not going to do that. I'm talking about what's going on inside of the baseball players' minds.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm not diminishing the fact that I've been asked for autographs. Actually, I'm very flattered by it, but I
good.
don't want to be one of those people that like, oh yeah, I'm really cool. They want me to autograph this calendar. So I'm trying to, I don't really even know how to say it. I'm basically trying to ground myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, and absolutely no way I'm not thankful that anyone wants me to autograph it. It's just that I would just, I prefer modesty, and I just prefer like I'm just another person that that takes pictures, And I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, I don't know how good I am, and but there's always a lot of people that are better out there. So I think basically it's just the whole modesty thing.
yeah,
And it is a little embarrassing, I'm not used to this. When I worked for the Kellogg Evening News and I wrote a couple of articles, I had little kids want me to autograph them for them. So it wasn't, and even that, well, I was in a different mindset then. I was like in my early 20s. I was the youngest full-time Associated Press columnist in the United States at that time. So my mindset back then is, oh yeah, look at me, I'm really cool, I'm something else. Where I think as we grow up, our priorities change
yeah,
and want to be, don't want to think about it's just all about me and wow, look how cool I am. And seriously, Michael, that is the one thing that I never want to come across with anyone. If
yeah.
I mean, if if I'm talented at something, well then thank you God for giving me that talent. Not like, oh look at me, I'm
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's a very fine line between confidence and being conceited, because you need to have confidence. And like I said, you put in work and a lot of energy to create this, and it's beauty. So people are going to get it, put it in their home, and it's going to bring them happiness. And that's what art is all about. And that's the fun, whether you're just a small dude from northern Idaho making calendars to the Ansel Adams that just referenced. There's all ranges, and all artists are creating art and making the world more beautiful and kind of just helping us get through all the crap that we have to deal with. And that's what it's all about. And knowing our value, just like what she said. So Okay, we got to wrap it up. But okay, before I wrap it up, if anyone is interested in the calendars and stuff, like DM me, and I could get it over to the old man, and we'll send you out a calendar, because I know I can't wait to get mine. Like I said, it should be getting it any day now. But if anyone is interested, yeah. But okay, before we wrap it up, I saved this for the grand finale, because we got 5 minutes left. We have to see the train, because this is the grand finale. This is like the grand finale. The old man, he.
All right. If you bear with me, I could probably stand on the kitchen table and show it to you.
Yeah.
Turn it on over here.
Okay, yeah, you could turn on. Okay, so let me explain what's going on. So you used to go to an old brewery or a pub or something, and they had, or a restaurant, and they had a train that went a model train that went around the whole roof. And so you, as a kid or a young adult, were like, I want one of those. And now you have your own place, and it's super cool, and you built this train. And I was helping you with ideas, and you just had this idea, like the calendar, and you're like, boom, made it happen. I mean, it took a while, but I mean, really, it was pretty impressive how fast you got this thing up. So this is the grand finale, is the train right here.
Yeah, that was Simon Coolers in Spokane you're referring to. Okay, so.
And this is the Aspen Railway, named after the dog, of course.
Aspen Railway, right over where? Oh, it's backwards. Okay, all right, so.
And point the camera a little higher.
I need the remote control.
Oh, there you go. Oh, here it is.
There she goes.
Hold the camera a little bit higher. Yeah. And so the train goes all the way around on the whole track. A little higher, old man. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. And a little higher. There's buildings. You got a nuclear power plant. And keep on moving around. Hold the phone a little. Tilt it up a little more.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right, keep spinning. I think that's. Oh, there's the little village right there. And I keep. And it actually goes under a little bridge, too. No, it's not at the state fair. It's actually in my dad's house, Owl. Someone was asking a question if this is at the state fair.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to hear you. Here, I'll turn it off. But it's kind of hard to have it on while I'm watching TV or listening to music or anything, because it is kind of loud, and I didn't realize that it was really going to be that loud. But hopefully I was trying, it'd be kind of embarrassing if I was to fall off the dining room table and break my neck on a
yeah, well, it wouldn't be embarrassing, but it would be a really entertaining live, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Home videos or something like that.
I might. I would have to clip it and save it. Cool. Well, yeah, that's Owl, he really liked it. And then Ephraim had to slip one comment in there at the very end, said, bring back the sly dog Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
We got to say bye to Aspen before we wrap it up.
Okay, all right. Okay, Aspen, come on over here. Come on. Hey, Aspen, come. Come over here. Go around. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy how smart he is. Okay, come on. Up. That boy. Yeah.
Ah, there he is. And that is your little homie. You and Aspen are like, you guys are like this. Look at them.
You know, there is one thing that I have to mention before we go off. Is I was walking in downtown Wallace a couple of days ago, and I was speaking with a lady. I think she just moved here, and I knew her. We're friends on Facebook, but I really didn't know her that well, and I don't think she knew me at all. And she goes, "Aren't you the guy that and Aspen is your dog?"
Yeah,
So
you're known as Aspen's dog dad now, officially.
yeah, I know by all the new people that have moved in. That's Aspen's.
Okay, so I make it quick because we're gonna wrap up. I want one advice or one thing, because one thing I love about you, and really you're retired, you're able to move back to Idaho and everything, but you're still creating. You're still creating. You're doing your calendar, you're creating your train, you're doing your project. So, and you're getting older. Like, so what is an inspiration or something about how can people keep that fire burning inside of them to keep creating?
It's just I think I do enjoy giving to people that like if I get a lot of likes on Facebook over a photo, it's not like wow, look how cool I am. It's like that I actually might have made a small difference in their day for a couple of seconds. Like wow, that's a really nice photo. So I don't really, other than that, it's just, and I get bored really easy with.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's just like rather than plant my butt in the recliner and watch ESPN all day. No, not a lot of sex. Not a lot of sex. No, it's like sex. What is that?
Oh man, that's funny.
I can't remember her name, but the Jeopardy contestant from Toronto, and I can't remember her name. But anyway, yeah, I would actually consider it with her. But, so
Now we're getting into the post game interview, the pre after interview. Um
and I'm too old. I could be your dad. So
yeah.
for
So
that.
I love what you said too, because you create because you love it and you're bored and you want an outlet and you want to bring joy and a little bit of beauty to other people, which that is what art is all about. Is about expressing yourself, doing something you love, and about bringing the beauty out to other people. And I think that that's perfect. So we got to wrap it up here because we're a little over time, but you know, I do it in 50 minutes, and every interview I do we always go a few minutes over because it 50 minutes doesn't seem like very much time, even though it's like an hour, you know, but it's okay. And it's always so much fun. And it was so cool to show off all your art and all your creations and like your passion and Aspen, of course, you know. So thanks for joining the live on Father's Day. And I gotta say, happy Father's Day, Dad. This was an awesome Father's Day interview. This is a change, and we got to change it up. We also got to keep on track with what this interview is supposed to be, the art pop. So thank you so much for joining me, and happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you.
Happy Father's Day to you, Michael. And if Sly Dog Ephraim sees this, Ephraim, what's up, buddy?
I will pass that along. Yeah. Yo, awesome. Well, love you so much, Dad. Thanks for doing it. And Trista, she really enjoyed this one because she's a photographer too. So that she enjoyed it. She said she loved this one. Send some hearts. So thanks so much for doing this, and we'll keep in touch. And I'll take a picture and post it once I finally get that calendar and show it off to everyone on Instagram
Well, Tristan, you're welcome to add me on Facebook as a friend if you would like to.
or on Instagram too, because you're on here too. Yeah, yeah. But dude, love you so much, Dad. Take care, and go watch the Milwaukee Brewers later lose, right? Love you.
Over and out.
Over and out.